Hello friends, welcome to today's reflection and meditation. It seemed very appropriate at some point in this series to speak directly about the unconscious. Since we're talking about being consciousness, that involves our conscious states and our unconscious states or parts of ourselves. My entry point into this reflection is the famous quote by Carl Jung: "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." And you see the breadth and depth there, pretty incredible. And in order to give us a sense of safety in talking about this, I also want to insert here a quote from the book of Genesis. I'm going to read it directly. It's from verses 1 and 2. "The earth was formless and void, or a waste and emptiness, and darkness was upon the face of the deep," in parentheses, primeval ocean that covered the unformed earth. "The Spirit of God was moving, hovering, brooding over the face of the waters." Now you could spend a long time just on that line alone, right? Because here you're talking about the earth being formless, and yet you're talking about waters actually existing and dark existing. And here you've got Spirit moving over all of this that seems to be void and emptiness. And what I find important to note is that if everything in creation is consciousness, then that means even in this place where we're talking about two things being in relationship, waste and void and deep and formless and Spirit hovering, or some texts say the wind hovering and moving over the face of the waters, that these two things are consciousness. That all the hidden aspects of what we are, I'm using that obviously symbolically here, all the hidden aspects of what we are that we are not in touch with, that are a void and an emptiness and not the fullness of life, they are consciousness as well. So our conscious and our unconscious are consciousness. And this then gives us the opportunity to open ourselves, so that what is unconscious knows it can come forward and be held not by the limited conscious, but by the eternal consciousness. So what are we talking about when we are talking about these concepts? Let me start out by drawing upon this picture. So I did a really big talk years ago on altered states, and some of my lead-in was to talk about the different aspects of ourselves in relation to being consciousness. So here, if you take a look, you'll see that in the center we've got ordinary consciousness, rational mind, bodily sensations. They're all here. They're all here. Okay? And that is the leap. That's from where we take the leap through things such as trance state, contemplation, meditation, altered states of consciousness, hypnotic trance. That's where we take the leap. But the other aspects of ourselves that exist already is here we've got the subconscious or unconscious, subliminal self, and supernormal capabilities that lie in the deep waters, the void, if you will. And then we've got on the top the higher self, higher consciousness, super consciousness, spiritual domain, spiritual beta body. So those three circles are what you are right now, all at once. And you can see dreams overlap, right? In the unconscious or subconscious and in the ordinary conscious here. And what happens is when we take a leap, sometimes the leap is just that we merge and we are that upper circle. But when we take the leap through any of those modalities, we access the other two circles more directly. We access them more directly. And you can see that this little symbol here, it's impingement of higher consciousness on ordinary consciousness. And that would refer to things such as inspiration, revelation, emanations from ordinary consciousness, which meet complementary spiritual forces. It's worthy to maybe even write that down and explore that more deeply. So when we look towards accessing our unconscious, we can look at it as an invitation to enter the deep state of beingness, of consciousness, and hold space as an open question to what is unconscious. Like you would, I would think like in taking care of a baby, when I'm taking care of babies, you can't force a baby usually to do one thing or another, but you can make it safe and encourage. And usually what happens in that environment is the baby comes forward. So here is another diagram that really simplifies things. So you see in the normal state, we've got here subconscious or unconscious and conscious, and you can see that dotted line is what you are knowing with your mind, what you are sensing with your body, and then what you are not knowing. And you can see that consciousness dips down just a little bit, doesn't it, into that subconscious state. Then when you get to the second one under hypnosis, you can see that the subconscious or unconscious is more available. You can see on the dotted line on both sides of the triangle or the slice of the pie, there are little pieces of the unconscious that are access to the ordinary consciousness. And then when you get into a deeper trance, that pie slice becomes even thinner and more of what is unknown comes forward. So that's a little bit of offering some context for why we may want to know what is part of the dark waters of our being. In order to embody consciousness, it takes an awakening and transformation of what limits us. I remember in this talk, I used an analogy of the unconscious being the lens with which we look out at the world, but it's only the lens. And if you take the glasses off, then you can see probably completely differently. We get a little bit of a glimpse into this great poem by Diane du Prima, which I love. I've got a great book of poetry that's all the women of the Beat generation, because you hear Jack Kerouac and Allen Ginsberg and that group of poets, but you don't hear of the women so often, which is not surprising. Here Diane is shining a bit of a light. Velvet at the edge of the tongue, at the edge of the brain. It was velvet at the edge of history. Sound was light, like tracing ancient letters with your toe on the floor of a ballroom. They came and went, hotel guests, like the great Gatsby, and wondered at the music. Sound was light. So while I'm a banquet spirituality human being, which means come to the table of the fullness of what you are and let everything unfold from there, it is not diminishing or ignoring what I'm speaking of, in that we're called to open the door to all the dark, wounded places within ourselves as well, all the limited beliefs, all the trauma, all the emotions, all the experiences that influence us. But coming to the banquet makes it easy. Just like the Mary Poppins song, just a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. That is quite possible. I think it's a limited and old belief to say that our transformation has to happen through pain and hard work. That's an old program. That's like a primal program. And we should question that. Opening to our unconscious, does it have to be pain and suffering? Does it have to last a lifetime? I don't think so. So will you enter that playground with me? Will you entertain the possibility that your transformation doesn't have to be hard work? Even when you meet with your own resistance, that doesn't have to be painful. It doesn't have to be doing it with sheer will or staying the course like a staunch warrior. But be the kind of warrior that's willing to say, I'm going to be alive in the truth. Joe Dispenza said wonderfully in an interview I saw of him not long ago, he said, for centuries, humans have died for the truth. What if we're called now to live for the truth? What would that be like? Step into the playground with me. And for our meditation today, maybe just tip your toe in the water. What would it be like to say, I'm here, unconscious? I, the I am here, unconscious. I'm here. That what is here within you can transmute. That the ignorance that is contained in a pattern or in the matter of my being can transform or transmute to be effortlessly awakened. So for our meditation today, sometimes it's easy to listen to inspirational words. And so we're going to try that as the meditation. I'm simply going to read, will not surprise you, words from the Radiant Sutras. And as you hear these words, I'm going to give space after each phrase. And I'm going to invite you silently, or if you're by yourself, you can say it audibly, to say it with love out loud. And allow. Play in the playground that what you desire wants you more than what you could possibly imagine. With that, I invite you to close your eyes. And let your breath create a space within you that lets you be here now. And make a commitment during this meditation that even if or when you're distracted, that you'll just come back. Just come back. Be here now. And in this, see these words as the divine speaking them to you, as your own divinity speaking them. Position it any way you wish. Remember to repeat the word silently or softly after I say the word. There is a space in the heart. Where everything meets. Come here if you want to find me. Mind, senses, soul, eternity are all here. Are you here? There is a space in the heart where everything meets. Come here if you want to find me. Mind, senses, soul, eternity, all are here. Are you here? Enter the bowl of vastness that is the heart. Listen to the song that is always resonating. Give yourself to it with total abandon. Quiet ecstasy is here, and a steady, regal sense of resting in a perfect spot. Enter the bowl of vastness that is the heart. Listen to the song that is always resonating. Give yourself to it with total abandon. Quiet ecstasy is here, and a steady, regal sense of resting in a perfect spot. You who are the embodiment of blessing, once you know the way, the nature of attention will call you to return. Again and again, answer that call. And be saturated with knowing, I belong here. I am at home. You who are the embodiment of blessing, once you know the way, the nature of attention will call you to return. Again and again, answer that call and be saturated with knowing, I belong here. I am at home. The air I am breathing was exhaled in ecstasy by an ancient sun. This earth I am standing on was born of cosmic fire. The blood flowing through my veins is as salty as the primordial ocean. The space permeating my body is infinite as the space all around. Above, below, to all sides, within. The elements of the universe are engaged in their ceremony of delight. This is my religion. The attraction between suns is the same as the love pulsating in my heart. This is my religion. The attraction between suns is the same as the love pulsating in my heart. O you who have been seeking, whatever path you are on, a moment will come when divine pulsation grabs you and carries you into its dance. In the midst of ecstatic motion, your body dissolves into light. It leaves only the soft, glowing benediction of the bones. You become the face of fury, yet serene within. Your eyes fly open in amazement. You see the unseen vastness. You become a tongue tasting upward into the nectar of eternity. You who have been seeking, whatever path you are on, a moment will come when divine pulsation grabs you and carries you into its dance. You are becoming a tongue tasting upward into the nectar of eternity. Dreaming, dreaming, sleeping, awakening. Rhythms of darkness and light, day and night, night and day, wondering, who am I? Who am I. Who is morphing through this ever-shifting flow? Beloved, wake up. Dance in your true body before time. Shimmer as energy without end. And to all who thirst, let them come to the water. And to all who have nothing, let them come to the sea. Without money, without strife, why should you pay the price except for the one? Come to the banquet with me, my friend, where even all that is unseen is loved and held. And when you are ready, I invite you to bring your palms together in front of your heart and open your eyes with Namaste. 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 Have a great day.